Wait, is it first Tuesday today? Huh. I don't feel like it's first Tuesday today. Jack, is this first Tuesday?
It's first Tuesday that I'm here in September.
First
Jack
Tuesday is doing
has
a live.
defined
It's
first
first
Tuesday.
Jack Tuesday.
John has never made me redefine a Tuesday, just so you know.
John doesn't go anywhere. That's his own damn
I don't-
fault.
I'm not even aware that it's Tuesday.
You have to take vacations, John.
My whole life is a vacation, Jack.
I was probably like a week from a bell tower before I took my vacation. Now I'm all chill
I would agree.
again.
You were about a week from a bell tower.
Yep.
I can relate. That would make an interesting session at some point, like round table. What do you do when you're a week from a bell tower? Because I'm sure John gets there too. He's like, I'm going to kill something.
What is your pressure release valve? Sometimes it is killing something. Sometimes I go down to South Texas and put an arrow in something, and then I feel better, like human again.
John, what's yours?
I just stay busy.
He just yells more at his employees.
I just stay busy.
What
Or
happens
yell
if
more at
John
his
doesn't
Instagram
stay busy?
followers.
That's the real question.
I sleep. I fall asleep if I don't stay busy. Like that's
Okay.
that's like I could literally sleep an entire weekend if I don't do things.
So your strategy is stay busy.
I stay busy.
Jack's strategy is go to Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Go somewhere.
It looked great.
Go somewhere.
Will you be going on one of the carnival cruises anytime soon to the Caribbean or anywhere perhaps?
Negative. No carnival.
None of that.
I
Okay.
had that reaffirmed by everybody that I talked to at the retreat level on Celebrity. They're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
no.
this is your first cruise?" They're like, "Yeah, you did retreat." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You're ruined. You're never going back." And then like, what line do I not ever go on? And people are like, Holland America's fine, and whatever. They're like, no carnival, just don't.
Yeah,
No
no
cruises.
no EBT cruises.
Well, and Caribbean in general seems like they're cheaper and they just attract a lower demographic.
Yeah.
I heard about on this trip, I heard about a like butter knife stabbing fight in the pizza line. In the pizza line on a Carnival cruise because they ran out of pizza. So of course, what you do is you start butter knife stabbing the person in front of you, also in the line, who also doesn't get pizza because that's apparently the logic. Like I'm like, so they were attacking the dude making the pizza? Like, no, they attacked each other because they ran out of pizza.
But if they run out of pizza, is that a permanent state? Or
No.
a temporary state?
No, it's a temporary state, but they were out, so you have to stab
Like you couldn't
somebody.
wait 20 minutes for another pizza?
No, you have to stab somebody. It's a requirement, apparently.
I was kind of thinking about related but unrelated. One of the things I love about my county is you'll have like a huge mansion-y house right next to a single wide. And that's actually a glorious thing. But they went to the county axe thing where we now have an inspector. So John, it's coming our way. We're about to have a chicken Karen or something. Wow. And I was like, the only reason they would want to do that is to start butting out the poor looking people in our county. But that's what makes our county delightful to live in. Is
ours is the same.
Yeah,
we got the same thing.
Yeah.
You have a chicken Karen inspector?
In city limits, we most certainly do.
Oh, okay.
This whole mess out here with making the 5-lane, right? It's a 4-lane with a median and sidewalks. Come to find out, it's only 4.5 miles, and they have till 29 to complete it. And it only goes 4.5 miles, and then it becomes a 2-lane road again. One lane each direction. So they're doing all of this mess through here for the next 4 years, and it only goes 4 miles.
Yep. So on the topic of Karen, since that's what we all really want to talk about, we were talking before the show that all Karens look alike. Is that true? Is that racist to say?
No, how's that racist? It has nothing to do with
Is Karen a race now?
I mean,
no, but everything that people don't like that you say, they accuse you of racism. But if you look at the baseball lady, right? She's got the haircut. She's got the Karen haircut. She looks Karen. Most Karens are white. Not all of them, but the majority of them are white. It's entitled Liberal Women for the most part, a lot of school teachers and such. It's the middle class and above. That's how they got them to vote for all that nonsense. Who was out there kneeling and doing all the BLM shit? It was all the white ladies.
I personally think woke middle-aged women need to never be in charge of anything. Like,
well, they should not.
I don't care what color they are. Like, if you are a woke middle-aged female, you don't get to be in charge of like a taco line or the pizza line. Maybe that's what happened on Carnival.
I think anybody whose sole goal is to enforce their way of thinking or their philosophy on other people with actual punitive damages being, like punishment, shouldn't be in charge of anything. Because if your goal is to punish people who don't think like you, that's a problem. That's kind of what that stereotype does in office. It's like, you don't do these steps, no food for you.
That lady does look like Elizabeth Warren. I was thinking that this morning and somebody else said it. She does. They all look like Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, they do. You know what? That lady looks so much like Elizabeth Warren that they have photoshopped Elizabeth Warren into her. And you have to double take to know if it's the real one or the AI Photoshop one, because she looks so much like her. And so my thing with that, though, is there's a lot of people giving the father shit. And part of it is that weird thing he did with his fists. So, I mean, to me, I think that one there is like, dude's like hugging his kid. He just gave him a ball. He's all happy. This woman comes over, and I think what actually happened there, I think he looked more goober than he is. I think he threw his hands up and then realized he's looking at a crazy lady. And like, he had this nervous energy. Like, I think his initial intention was, I'm going to pop this motherfucker yelling in my ear. And then he's like, oh, I can't hit this person. And my instinct was, when I saw that, like, I would have told this bitch, like, I will not even say what I would have said, even me, on this broadcast. Because
they'll use it later against
you. You were beeping it out. Beep, 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 beep. And it would have ended with something like, and if you touch my son, I will throw your ass on that field. Don't think I won't, Karen. And I was wrong. The way that man handled that was textbook de-escalation. In the end, it's just an effing ball. And you can see his disgust. And he just takes it and goes, here, get out of here. Get away from my family. Get away from you. Have no idea what a deranged lunatic like this is going to do. My way would have ended with my personal satisfaction and probably me in a holding cell at the stadium and my family thrown out. His way ended with a ton of Marlins gear, because even they were like, as the visiting team, this is bullshit. It turns out there was like 3 home run balls in that bag of shit they gave him. So he got 3 home run balls. He got to meet the coordinator for the team, the guy that hit the home run. He got that dude's bat signed. He got to go down to the locker room. And then the Camping World CEO gave the family World Series tickets, not to a game, to the effing entire World Series, which no one gets that. And then a free RV. So by being calm and doing the right thing, this dude literally had a tax bracket change for the year. And my way, which, I still fight that urge, my way would have probably resulted in ejection and none of that.
Well, that dude probably realized he was on the big screen also.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I mean, look at the last 8 years of people's lives literally being destroyed over silly shit like that.
Yeah.
And speaking of de-escalation, Sonny is in the room.
From Rumble.
Yeah, from Rumble. Whose Rumble you on, Sonny? Anyway, I think
he's on mine.
It's got to be Jack's. Mine's not on.
Yeah, mine's on. I think the de-escalation thing is an interesting one, because we've got a comment here. I'm one of the few that thinks dad didn't do the right thing. Why teach your kids that when someone screams at you, give them what they want? Bullshit. And I understand that perspective, and I think it is important to stand up for things, but there's a point where it's about to turn into, I'm going to jail if I stand up for this thing, and my family needs me more than I need to stand up for this thing.
Yeah. What is the context of the total situation? It's not just her face screaming at you. Like you said, like John said, you're on Jumbotron, right? There's 100,000 eyeballs in the stadium on you, and millions around the world looking at you. It's going to be replayed over and over and over again. And you're the guy that choke slammed Elizabeth Warren, right? Like, yeah, I could see some appeal in that, but in the end, bro, like your family is more important than your freaking ego.
I've spent years telling the kids, my kids and other kids all the time, like, ask yourself when you're about to do something, what you stand to gain, but also evaluate what you might lose, because a lot of times you don't gain anything by it. And the example I use is you're at Walmart or you're at a shopping mall and you've got your signal on and you're waiting for that parking space, and then somebody else comes and zips in there, and you can jump out and you can escalate that, but you don't know what that's going to become, right? If that guy stabs you or shoots you or backs into you with a car and now you're in a wheelchair the rest of your life, were you right? Yes, you were right. But what was the actual outcome? And if we avoided that and went to another parking space or de-escalated that in some manner, it's the outcome is unknowable, and you never know how much further that person is willing to take it than you are. Now, a little bit different in the stadium, but then again, we've seen like look at the dude that choked out the crazy dude on the subway and spent 2 years fighting for his life over that. And there's tons and tons of other examples of that.
Yeah, I just think, like, am I willing to potentially be in prison for the rest of my life because I, popped somebody or something? If I'm defending my own life, then yeah, at least I'm still alive. But there's a point where it's like, am I willing to go to prison over my car? Probably not, especially since it just sprang a loud. So it went from quiet to loud. So I assume I have an exhaust leak. So we call that springing a loud here. But, yeah. Yep.
So the lady was supposed to have been a school administrator, and last Jack had heard that they had actually got the wrong lady, and that was not her, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we got into all Karens looking alike. So they went after the wrong person.
Yeah, she had nothing to do with it. She's some lady from like Central Jersey, works for a school. She's a Red Sox fan, apparently. She weighs like 40 pounds more than this Karen. And she's like, please stop attacking me. Like, I see what she did was horrible, but I sure wish I was as thin as her and could move as fast. Right? Like, this is not me. And I think there's a lesson there, too. Like, internet mob justice is definitely overused, but at some points, I think, like, it's maybe useful. But let's be sure of the target before we start bombing it. Like that, let's not act like the U.S. military and just blow shit up because somebody said it's over there. Let's actually identify the target first before we send in the munitions. Unfortunately, I guess this got cut off, but that could have really ran away. That could have went. And there's a certain point where if the person's attacked long enough, when people come out and go, whoa, not that, it doesn't stop, right? People become convinced they're on the target, and they start carpet bombing somebody's life. And this woman, if they ever figure out who she is, I wish her ill. But it's also not something this is not something to get somebody fired over and shit like that. This is like, you are a horrible human and everybody knows who you are now. And then let's move on with life.
Usonian, like, I don't disagree with you. We would all cheer if that dude had backhanded that lady. But are you going to be the one to do that? Because I'm not going to be. I mean, we would all be like, oh yeah, she had that coming. I could totally see it.
Yeah.
But are you willing to completely change the direction of your life over it? Because they're definitely going to change your life.
You're going to jail.
Yeah, you're going to jail, and they're gonna hold you there. Lawfare is the like the system is the punishment a lot of times, and they're gonna punish you all the way up and put you away over it. Especially if you're a white dude.
That's part of the decision too. Like, am I willing to physically hit this person over this issue? If the answer's already no to that, then what am I going to do? Sit there and argue with her and escalate the argument? Right? Like, I'm not going to punch that woman in the face, especially if she doesn't do something to physically actually attack me that at least has some level of harm to me or to my son. But she's probably not going to, because that's not what those people do. They just keep streaming and streaming. So the only thing I can do is end it. And if I end it with like putting hands on her, I am going to go to jail. It's on video. They're going to put me in front of a prosecutor and an audience full, a jury full of people that look just like her, because that's what's going to happen. And they're going to say he was under no threat at any time, and this giant man harmed this little woman who he stole the baseball from, even though it's not true. and I'm going to go to fucking jail for probably at least 6 fucking months over it.
Yeah, if he'd have put a beating on that lady, you'd have never seen the full video. They never would have put that shit out. Look at the chick that just got stabbed on the subway, the Ukrainian chick, right? That dude, you saw him pull his knife out.
Yeah.
You saw him look at her. He stabbed the shit out of her. You saw him walk back. He said, "I got myself a white girl." That's what he said.
Yeah,
and
he did.
And nobody, the only reason we know that is because non-mainstream, not a single mainstream media showed that shit. And didn't it happen? It happened 2 weeks ago, right? That didn't just happen.
Yeah.
They just found out about it.
Yeah, we just heard about it this weekend when we got home. And yeah, it's not when he does it. It's when later there's other film from another car when he's getting off and he's walking through there and he says, "I got that white girl. I got that white girl." Now, here's my thing with this. If that was a white dude that stabbed a black woman and he said, "I got that black girl," there would already be printed professional signs and paid protesters from one end of this country to the other. The news would be flying in helicopters to video it from above and show how big it is. There would be all kinds of messaging out there about how racism is the biggest problem in America. And the response of the mainstream media to this has been to bury it. And now that they have no choice but to cover it, they're blaming social media for making you see it. And if you are aware of it and outraged by it, that alone makes you racist.
Yeah, he's been arrested over 20 times, 3 of them violent. I believe they were all on white women.
And well, he also beat up his own cousin or some shit, or his sister. But the last time he was arrested, this is the one that, like, you really don't belong on the street. He was arrested for abusing the 911 system. But what he actually did was he called 911 and asked the police to come get him because somebody put this is his words, a man-made substance in his body that was controlling his thoughts, his actions, and his words. This is a mentally disturbed human being. A guy with a violent record plus that level of mental disturbance. Whoever put him on the street belongs in a prison cell, dare I say, with him. Permanently.
I don't disagree that maybe somebody's going around putting man-made substances in people's bodies on the street.
But if somebody says that, who's committed fucking armed robbery and beat up their own sister and shit like that in the past, and has like this mile-long, stretching back 15-year violent record, I'm thinking if anybody goes into La La Land, that's the dude that needs to go. But they cut him loose within 48 hours of that arrest.
Yeah, that judge's name needs to be public. Those judges needs to be out there.
And the people of Charlotte, if you do not get rid of your mayor at this point, I don't know what to tell you. You deserve what the fuck you get. I'm sorry.
How about
there has to be a recall process or some shit.
Lady veterinarian used to take her dog to the park. She'd go to the park every day, walk the dog. A dude cut her completely to pieces, stabbed her over and over and over, and literally murdered her in the park. You didn't hear anything about that. Come to find out, 2 or 3 months earlier, he had attacked another lady just the same way, and the judge let him out. There's a ton of these being talked about right now. Now that the Ukrainian lady is being talked about, they are bringing up many other cases just like these.
Well, now we're bringing up UFOs, huh?
We'll go there later.
Okay. Well, speaking of martial law in Chicago.
So they've put I saw, and who knows if it's real or not, but somebody said, this is why I love Chicago. And they have all their salt trucks apparently blocking the exits so ICE can't get into Chicago or something like that. Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work really well. Here's a question I have with that and with the protesters and everything else. I do not understand this. Why are these? I'm not even saying it should happen. I'm saying, why isn't it happening? And to give it context, the dude that threw the sub sandwich at the FBI guy in D.C., they arrested him for assault on a federal officer. Is that overkill? Yeah, but you know what they did? They're like, if we do this one guy, if you get arrested for throwing a sandwich, you ain't doing shit, right? Unless you're willing to go. But they did that, and they can. I think it's ridiculous, but they can make a legitimate case. I just watched people dragging cops off of a vehicle they were putting people they were arresting in, trying to stop a vehicle, pushing the cops out of the way, fighting the cops. And when I say cops, I mean ICE. I mean federal agents here. And then the cops drove over one of the fat asses. That was pretty funny. But nobody got arrested. How is this not obstruction and assault on a law enforcement officer? I mean, if I get pulled over by a cop and I get in an argument with him and I like flick him in the forehead, I'm going to get arrested for assault.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to get done up hard. And if I resist at all, I'm going to get resisting arrest, right? And if they're going to arrest somebody and all I do is step in between them, I'm going straight behind my back and I'm going straight to jail for obstruction. How are these? This is the federal officers. This is happening. So don't, because I keep hearing about the local people are bought by sort. No, hold on. These are federal freaking agents. They have National Guard troops like they did anyway in California with them. They're there. The way that loophole works for posse comitatus, the National Guard's not there to arrest people. They're there to protect the ICE agents while they do their job. That's the loophole. So at that point, once you touch them, they can apprehend you. Why are these people not being arrested?
During the LA riots, when the Marines went in, Jeff said that they didn't actually, they actually did shoot a few people at checkpoints. But he said, we weren't out policing. Yeah. We freed law enforcement up. Yes. Law enforcement arrested. They took 9,000 high-risk warrants off the books. Everybody was basically sequestered. They went in and snatched up their warrants, and it freed law enforcement up to not do traffic and not do enforcement. Yeah. And they emptied out all the wants and warrants out there. Tag, how are you?
Did you see the dude that's like, you're going to come in here to Chicago? We got gangs. We got Glocks with switches. Like, bro.
Yeah, I saw guys doing all
kinds of helicopters.
Fantasy ass land.
Yeah, Bear's like, yeah, you got this thing right here. I got one of those too. I've also got this other thing that you guys don't have. And this doesn't meet this. You can have your Glocks with your switches, but it doesn't beat 5.56. There was a ICE protest on a detention facility. And as soon as they started throwing stuff, I don't know who the guys were, but they monkey stomped those two people, to include a woman. Like, they bounced that chick right off the ground as soon as she started throwing shit in there. I mean, they put a beating on them.
I think part of why they're not arresting him is the optics. You start arresting American citizens. I mean, I know they're not good, but it gets worse. It's more fodder.
I don't buy that either. I don't know. It seems like shooting yourself in the foot on purpose. Like, as soon as you put your hands on a law enforcement officer in the commission of their duty, you have assault on an officer. If that officer is attempting to apprehend somebody, you also have obstruction of justice. Under federal charges, that could be like 10 years. And they'll plead 6 months that fast. And it would take 5 of those. And the word would go out, they're not fucking around. That could be ended.
Hunter 77. I don't understand your question. So start Civil War 1.5. I don't know what you mean. Who's starting Civil War? There's not a Civil War. They're not going to be a Civil War.
If they do send a guard in and some of these gang members start popping shots at them, I think that's what he's saying.
Nope. They're going to clean that shit up just like DC. They arrested 1,750 people. You want to guess what they look like? Do you think those were fine? You think those are fine employed people, or do you think they were, future lawyers and engineers?
They're all in medical school, John.
They're all medical. Yeah,
and they're all going to do Doctors Without Borders. They're all, sure. But I do think he's on to something. I think it is more likely that some lunatic gangbanger in Chicago will take shots at troops or ICE or somebody than in DC. I think, and then I don't know what happens. Like, usually those guys, the guard, when they send them in, they have weapons, but they have no ammo.
Until the media, until the news tells you they have no ammo.
Yeah.
When National Guard was up in LA, they had no ammo. Most of them didn't even have mags. The second the Marines went in, they transported their ammo and everything with them, to include 40. I mean, they had stuff that, was rather questionable as to, the loadout.
Reserves and Guard are different, and then Marines are different altogether, right?
Yep.
Like, National Guard is, I'm not putting them down or nothing. I'm just saying that there's like tiers of lethality, and they can be very lethal if they want to, but they generally are not. Your reserve is almost always made up of people who first served active. Most people don't join the reserves. They join active duty, and then when they discharge, they move into reserve status. Some do that for guard. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying, like when I was in basic, I didn't have anybody in my basic that was like at the end of basic and my AIT, I'm going to reserves. There was a shit ton of people that like, oh, I'm guard. And so you just have a lack of the same volume of real everyday experience in the guard. Again, for anybody who was in the guard, you served 8 years, 9 years in it, whatever. I understand, but you're the exception and you know it. I would say probably 70% of guard have no active experience other than their training and shit like that.
When you look at 19th and 20th, that's reserve guard SF.
Yeah.
A lot of those dudes are doing more active duty time on deployment than actual. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not your California National Guard guy, though.
Correct.
Now, to be fair to the Guard, okay, a lot of those guys got called up during the war on whatever bullshit, terror, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of those Guard units deployed 3-4 times.
Yeah, I worked with a guy in the Guard, and we had to guarantee his job.
Yeah.
He was over a period of 4 years gone more than he was there. And the last time he got deployed, he was like, I'm just going to give my notice because I feel bad.
Yeah.
And I don't want you guys to have to employ me when I come back. And now he's a contractor. But
yeah. That's really hard on small companies too. Like I get the spirit of that. Like I think if your company's under a certain size and you're in that situation, then it should be, if the government wants to mandate something like that, the government should have to mandate some form of employment. Like we'll make sure this guy gets a job when he gets back, or we'll help you reintegrate him. But to carry an empty space in a company when you have, let's say, 10 employees, that's 10% of your workforce. So that would be like a company with 100 employees losing 10 and not having the ability to replace them. Of course, a big company can.
I mean, you hire somebody, but you just have to hire him again in a comparable position when they come back.
Yeah,
and
but
so, they're gone for 9 months. They come back with some PTSD, and they've got like a culture shock, if nothing else, coming back in. It's a whole, I loved working with that guy because he was very organized, but it was just every time he left, it was disruptive, and then he came back, and then he left, and then he came back. So yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, let's say I have 5 people. That's 20% of my. Now I hire somebody, and when he comes back, I'm overforced by 120%.
Yeah.
Right, and I may not have the money. If I needed 6 people, I would have had 6 people. So now what I have to do is like, I got to hire this guy back because the government says so, and I don't have the money. So the dude that I hired that worked his ass off for 9 months, sorry, bro.
Later.
And I probably didn't tell him that because I wanted him to like take the job. You know, I mean, it puts people in a bad situation. I mean, I don't know how many people that, John, your company's large, but it's not huge. How many people you could afford to do that with? I guess.
No, I couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah, you're good people, right? You're not your people that rotate through. Like your people that are permanent, that have been with you a long time, and you got to let that person go, and then you got to replace them because you need them.
If they're top, I mean, you have 10% that do 80%. That's the no bullshit every single entity,
and that's the guy that's going to go.
Yeah,
that's the guy that's going to be in the Guard of the Reserves,
and it would take 2 or 3 to replace them. But we would definitely, like, we've had people step out for 5 years and to go do whatever and then come back. And we're always glad that we'll make it work some way. We'll get rid of the lesser performers to replace them. But that's very, different than a lot of businesses for sure. Talking about Chicago too, like, somebody said, start civil war. A lot of people don't realize, like, the surveillance state, it's definitely used against us for data collection and will be used to punish us in the future for things we say today. But there's no movement in Chicago that's not known about. There is a record of everything and every movement, from ring cameras and flock cameras and the balloons. Like, people don't believe, they don't understand that there are surveillance balloons above every major city. Like, did you see when Rittenhouse shot that dude from the ground and then shot the other dude? How did they have that footage? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And they tried to hide that. That came off of balloons and drones. Like, do you not think that there's, like, they know every single phone movement and where that phone's moving? They also know everybody in the crowd that doesn't have a phone, and those are the main POIs, the people in the crowd with no cellular signature. They they know exactly where those dudes are. It's
Do you
very
think that's
different.
what they did in DC? Like when they went in,
it
doesn't look like that many arrests, but it was like key arrests. Like they knew. Plus, I think local PD knows, like, here's where our problems are, and these are people we can't get off the street and whatever. And then the federal goons are just like, oh, we'll just grab them for a while and shake them and see what comes out.
Plus your local cops, they know they know where the problem is. They're not allowed to handle the problem, right?
Yeah.
If you did a purge, they know where the drug houses are and where the guys, they know all the people, they know what's going on. And Liberty Garden says, so what happens when Democrats send troops into your city? I expect that to happen. You know where they're not going to send them? Into my city,
where I live.
I don't live in a city. And where is all the crime, right? Those states. And we don't disagree with you, Liberty Garden. It is a slippery slope, as everybody likes to say, right? And it had been used against us. And as far as where all the crimes are, look at California. All the crimes are in 2 or 3 little tiny pockets, 1% of the real estate of the entity. And that's how the United States is. Where's all the guns versus all the crime? The United States is number 3 in gun violence off statistics, right? If we remove Chicago, St. Louis, and Los Angeles, we become 280 in gun crime if you remove those 3 cities. And who's committing the crime? Who are the usual suspects?
Yeah, I guess my question with that is, I understand the sentiment, but what are they going to send them to do? Round up Dennis?
No.
Right?
No,
Round up the Girl Scouts? Like, what are they going to send them? What is when people say that, what is your other side of that analogy? What are they going to send them to do? Put us in camps or some shit like that? If that's the case, then what Trump does or does not do will have no fucking effect on that whatsoever. Like this idea that because you get rid of gang members, that green lights the Democrats to run the FEMA camps. It's just asinine. If they're going to do the FEMA camp thing, then shit's going down and it's going down and it's going to happen. And it has nothing to do with Trump doing what he's doing, which
if they're going to run the FEMA camps, it could be Democrats or Republicans doing it.
Yeah.
That's that's a whole different level of evil.
Do you know what this is being called on social media right now? Like especially X, pulling a Bukele. They've made Bukele a verb. To Bukele a city is to clean it the fuck up now. And there's people out there going, I have no idea what he's talking about. Bukele is the president of El Salvador. And his model was, if you're associated with the gang, you're going to prison. Done. And was it authoritarian? Yes. But are you safer right now in San Salvador or Chicago? I don't know, man. And my understanding with the way he's running things, they're making it like you disappear into this black hole of a prison and you never come out. It seems like the entire role of those prisons is show us that we can let you out. We don't want to ever see you again back in here. Like there are people coming out of that system. They're not just going there forever. I think his problem was that it had, and this is my concern for my country, it had gone so far that what was the alternative? That no one felt they could actually make any money without being part of that gang system. So by breaking it, then there's no incentive to be part of it anymore. I mean, I don't know. Like that dude, results matter. Like he got shit done.
Liberty Garden round up political enemies, and didn't they already do that? Like, weren't they doing that? And just because Trump goes in, let's say Trump does Chicago, that frees up the Democrats. Do you not think they're going to do it anyways? Or do you think maybe if Trump goes in and cleans some of these states up, then Vance runs next, and then Vance runs again, and then whoever, they're saying Republicans for the next 12 to 16 years. Maybe not. Or maybe this is the time right now where you fix this shit, or it's too late and we become France.
I feel like we're there. I really do. Like
too late.
And I feel like the media is playing a very dangerous game right now. Back to that blonde Ukrainian refugee that was stabbed in the neck. When you start telling people you can't talk about something they've seen happen, that you're a racist to observe that it occurred, when you're burying that story while you're turning a career criminal like George Floyd, there's a point where a society goes, you know what? Fuck it. We're done. And I think there is a huge, I guess you call it the silent majority, in America that is this fucking close to we're done now. And the old saying is the most dangerous person in the world is the man who only wishes to be left alone when he realizes you will never leave him alone, because the part of him that was peaceful dies. And when that happens, because the people that feel this way are organized, armed, and they're fucking pissed. And it makes me concerned because I feel like they want it to happen. I really do, because I don't have another explanation. Like, at a certain point, we're really going too far, but we're going to keep doing it.
Adam, living outside the city, population 2,000, the city has pockets of dirtbags. We absolutely do. We also know who they are. Like, people go missing here all the time. Camden, Tennessee has like 12 of the America's unsolved mysteries over fucking duck hunting. Like, it's like, if the power goes out and the tattletale's turned off and 911 doesn't work and Jimbo is stealing a bicycle on grandma's porch, she's going to shoot that fool. That's going to be it. Like, the trash will be taken out. They'll just be left in Court Square. Here's your problems.
We have pigs and backhoes and excavators, right? I mean,
yep.
I'll put it this way. So my goddaughter, my niece, my brother-in-law, her dad is a cop, and he met one of her prospective boyfriends when she was pretty young. And the guy was a little bit intimidated by him because he's a cop. And he said, oh, it's her godfather you have to worry about. He knows places in the woods no other white man's ever seen. And when he told me that, I laughed and I also said, there's a little truth to that. The only other white guy I know that knows some of those places is dead now. So yeah, kind of.
Yep.
Like, there is a place for, I guess, country justice. And if it goes that way, and I think there is this idea that, like, oh, we have scumbags too. Yeah, but like John said, we know who they are. And more important,
everybody here.
More important than we know who they are, they know that we know who they are. They know. Yeah.
Rick Krause is here from Facebook. Are you coming from my Facebook? Is this broadcasting on my channel? We're having some issues getting it to go live on Facebook.
I think it's you.
Yeah, it's got to be you, because we're not broadcasting on any other Facebook right now.
Yeah, that's got to be John.
Yeah.
Every time the Ferris Circus comes up missing, a lot of people go missing or dead. The Ferris Circus. Yeah. Garth Brooks apparently also. Every time every town Garth Brooks would tour to, have you guys seen the whole thing about
Garth
Brooks?
That's an interesting claim to fame.
Garth Brooks is a serial killer. Have you guys ever seen that? Look that up.
I think that element's been here forever, though.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. We just ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist until we can't.
I think there's people, though, that they just want to have something to say in that place. So it's the government's going to get you, right? That's what we started out. Because Trump cleans up D.C., the Democrats are going to put us in FEMA camps. Well, we don't live there. Oh, but you have bad guys that live where you are, too. Wait a minute. I thought we were worried about the jackbooted government guys, right? But immediately, like, there is this incessant need that some people have to have this be not just a problem, not just conflict, not just hard times, but the apocalypse. I've been doing this 17 years now. You know what's changed? Nothing. There is a group that in our space that it is going to be the apocalypse no matter what. And you know what it's going to be? Next year, next month, next election. It's always like just over here. And as you get closer to that point, they just slide it further out. And
kind of like global warming.
Yeah. They have a 10-year slide.
I know. I've lived through. They had a 20-year slide when I was in school in the 80s, in the early 80s.
The first time I saw 10 years was the AP press release in 1989.
Yeah.
Then we had 10 years.
82.
Okay. All right.
82 was 20 years. It was global cooling, warming. It actually kind of changed in that year.
Yeah.
It was cooling. It was cooling. Ice Age is coming, or it's the greenhouse effect. It was called the greenhouse effect.
We did a shirt that had the whole calendar on it. Yeah. I'm 53. Every year something was supposed to kill us.
If you have never seen it and you're listening to this or watching it, go to YouTube and type in Leonard Nimoy global cooling.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of the most fascinating things to watch and realize it was like 77 this was put out. And Gen X, the reason we're so skeptical of this, we grew up with this. And you're saying 82 is when it changed, and it kind of did. But I remember to like mid 80s, dudes on like the news at night with their climate models and the ice age coming, and we were all going to freeze to death. And that's kind of that whole like 82 to 89 where it flipped over. And then, well, that didn't work out. So we'll just call it climate change. And I think it's called climate weirding now.
Really?
But you're in denial.
Keep climate weird.
You notice
That's a t-shirt. Keep climate weird.
Greta Thunberg hasn't said climate change in 12 months, 24 months, right? Everything's Palestine for her now.
Yeah, and then they drone bombed her ass.
Yeah.
Remember acid rain?
You better keep talking about climate change or they'll drone bomb your ship.
Yeah, they just sunk her ship. It is sunk in the bottom of the ocean.
Really? Did she go down with the ship?
No.
They saved her? Okay.
No.
Thank God. I know everybody's like, why? I'm like, because there would be nothing worse than her being a martyr to the cause.
He-Man with the He-Man haircut.
Dude, I just saw a thing. This dude in France, gay dude, being beat up by a bunch of immigrants from North Africa, Muslims. And he is like a chairman on a board of an organization working hard to reduce resistance to immigration and bring more of them into France. And I look at that and go, that is a 12-second video of the West committing suicide, at least in Europe, if not here too.
Shark Jumper, are you talking about the one that happened yesterday, day before? Or are you talking about the one that happened a couple months ago when she said her ship was attacked by Israel? There are two separate incidents, two separate vessels. One had no sails or mast, and one was a sailboat that they were underway with today. Okay, interesting. That's not what like Benny Johnson and those dudes are reporting.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we're going to hear the noise of Jack.
Yeah, I know. Like they set their shit. Now, can I believe that they're incompetent enough to like rescue flare, set their own boat on fire? Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like to damage the boat enough for it to sink. That would have to be a very strategically placed flare.
Who sunk Rainbow Warrior 2? The Greenpeace boat. Was that wasn't that the Foreign Legion? They limpet mined it.
I'm gonna have to wait on that one. I don't.
Shark Jumper's gonna go look because now Shark Jumper's like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just saw it.
That's
Liberty
what I saw too.
Garden says got a Molotov dropped by a drone off the coast of Africa. Somebody says it did not sink. Oh, there goes.
It did not sink.
My microphone did.
Could you see her doing that and blaming it on somebody else? I mean, why are we talking about her? Because the boat caught on fire. Why are we talking about her? Because we're happy that her boat sank. I'm happy that the boat sank.
And now we're talking about the USS Liberty. That was a really good show by CJ. Did you listen to that one, Jack?
No, I was in Alaska.
Oh, it came out before Alaska. But anyway, it was.
I knew he was doing it, but no.
Yeah, if you want to hear one, that's a good one.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's unfortunately having to go for a family funeral and going to be gone for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Liberty is one of those stories that, just buried and we'll just pretend it didn't happen. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you should just totally go to the
Dangerous History Podcast.
Dangerous History Podcast and look for the episode about the USS Liberty.
It's the latest one.
Yeah.
Because I think that family issue got in the way of the next episode. So, yeah.
Who's seen more action than Trump? Greta?
I think that's what he meant.
I guess. I don't know, man. I'm curious. I'm not putting it down or nothing. I'm just curious. Like, Baseball Karen? Did Baseball Karen get more action than Trump?
Who knows?
Back in her day, Baseball Karen might have been freaky. You don't know. Maybe that's why she's mentally, not so good now.
Well, I mean, she's suffering for global warming by living on a sailboat? A boat?
Yeah. By being incredibly wealthy and eating a vegan diet.
Yeah.
Ready, looking like Lord Fuck Off.
Does living on a boat reduce your carbon footprint?
Well, their
I
boat has
Vegan? That's
That
my
boat-
question.
that boat has no sails.
Oh
It's a
It's just a
diesel.
boat.
It's
Yeah.
a big boat.
no, Nicole means her family boat. They have a family boat because they're rich as fuck.
Yeah, they have a big, huge motor yacht,
Oh, they do? I thought they had a
and she flies. Well, I mean, it's a sailboat, but it has
Okay.
motors, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
And then she flies all over the place.
Well, like if you live on a boat, doesn't all your food have to come from like miles and miles away, especially if you're vegan?
Vegan.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you had a sailboat and you ate fish and shellfish, I
It
get.
depends where you park the boat, Jack.
You just eat
Yeah.
seaweed, Jack. You just eat seaweed.
Yeah. I had kelp pickles in Alaska. That was pretty fucking good, but I don't want to live on them. I didn't know there was a such thing as kelp pickles.
I mean, that actually kind of sounds tasty.
I had kelp pickles on cured salmon on a cracker with fireweed honey at a little shop. That was really one of the best things I've eaten ever.
Do you have any good locks?
Yeah, mostly on the ship though for breakfast. It was pretty cool. Like I don't do much with carbs, so they had these lox that they wrapped like almost like a sushi with the cream cheese inside and then capped with capers.
Oh,
So they were like, and I'm like, that's actually pretty legit way to go for low carb. But who am I going to kid? I ate a bagel or two. It was a vacation. Vacations don't fucking count.
Sure.
It depends on how often you're on vacation, Jack.
I took one in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Vacations
What's in
don't
that
count.
mug? I saw you drinking French press and not the right.
It's not. It's AeroPress. I just made an extra one and put it in. to keep it
I was
warm.
like, he's pouring from a French press. It does not look like an AeroPress.
No. It's your favorite commercial brand.
Well, I feel like we better talk about this particular topic from Bonnie Blue. Thank you
All
for
right.
the super chat. Alberta has just signed massive pipeline deal with the U.S. by bypassing Ottawa in the process. Alberta is making serious moves towards independence and may take Saskatchewan and other Western province with it, and soon.
Huh.
I hadn't heard anything about that until this moment.
Didn't Trump just say California is Canada's 111th province or something?
Maybe. But wait, can Canadian province do that?
Well,
They
it's the
did
mass
it, apparently.
that
Huh.
plays to the Canada being the 51st state thing. It might not be all of Canada, but it could be a piece of Canada.
I mean,
I don't
Alberta,
want
if
all
you're
of
going to take
Canada.
a piece of Canada, Alberta is not a bad one.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
one with the oil.
I don't want all of Canada. I think that's a terrible idea. First of all, it would not be a 51st state. It's too big.
Yeah.
It would be a plethora of states, and it would lean liberal as shit. And if you think like making Puerto Rico a state's a problem, let's make 4 of them. No, I don't want Canada, but maybe Alberta.
I mean,
I
Alberta,
can't find
where the
anything
gas
about.
is. I do. I have ATCO's 2.8 billion Yellowhead Blend wins key Alberta approval.
Alberta eyes Japanese investment.
I'm going to send you a link on Telegram, dude.
Okay.
Or I can just put it in the chat here.
Yeah, go ahead. Can you?
I'm working on it.
All right.
I put it on private chat, but I'll put it in comments for the people who are watching as well.
Maybe
So,
I'm searching for the wrong thing then.
it's
The
an
crap-
announcement from Heart Energy from the 22nd of August.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Crown will not give up Canada willingly. The Crown, who's the Crown? Are we talking about England? They only exist because of the United States.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally only those countries over there literally only exist because of the United States.
The United Kingdom was the most powerful country in the world 150 years ago. And they just basically took a step back and handed that off to us about World War II. And they've never come back from that. The only thing they've ever done on their own since then was, putting down a revolt of people that shoveled bird shit in the Falklands. That's it. That's all they've done since then.
I'm still back on Alberta.
How's France going this morning?
Is France in anarchy?
I
Just
don't
like
know.
the song.
I think that like it's nonsense. Like if you go back, I think it was like 9 years ago, Spain went almost 2 years without a federal government. It was like the best period of time they ever had. Like, so I say France, keep it up. Because it's not like all of a sudden like, oh no, Macron's been deposed and there's no central government. And then like it went to apocalypse. Like the federal government doesn't actually do that much.
I mean, didn't Germany melt down like a year ago?
They did.
Nothing happened.
They just assassinated some candidates in Germany yesterday, day before.
Yeah.
Similar to Mexico, they killed 46 presidential candidates in a 48 hour period before the female got elected there. How's Scotland going this morning? There's some things going on in Scotland also.
Crown can sit on the crown.
Yeah.
That's Carson. He's from Canada, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he's from like Alberta or something. Like he's like from Western Canada.
He should join the LFTN stocking exchange so that we can have 2 Canadians exchange stockings.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
They're just going to send each other maple syrup.
I mean, it's fine. That's fine. It has to be handmade, though.
Handmade maple syrup or beer.
Or beer. Or maple beer.
I didn't say they weren't big. I said they don't do anything. Those are different things, bro. We got a guy saying if the federal government isn't that big, why is spending out of control?
So they can steal it. They have to spend it to graft it.
I mean, look at the federal government like Twitter, right? Elon Musk buys Twitter, gets rid of 80% of the staff. Nothing fucking changes. Don't tell me we couldn't do that with the federal government. I mean, really. Like, Nicole, did you see this thing? It was like somewhere in New England, and it's now starting to try to become a meme. You know how like when you see cops like running speed traps and you're driving down the road, then you signal a road hazard by flashing your light. So this dude got pulled over. It was like New Hampshire or Vermont or somewhere up there. And this cop doesn't write him a ticket, but he gives him this lecture. And he says, when you do that, you're interfering with our ability to have contact with people that are like child traffickers and drug traffickers. Because that's what they're doing when they line 6 cars up and one dude with a radar gun on an overpass. They're looking for child sex traffickers.
Do sex traffickers speed as a general rule?
I guess. I mean, to be a little fair, like 1%, law enforcement does look at any traffic stop as a contact and an opportunity to see if something else is going on. But if I'm like drug trafficking, child trafficking, whatever, my speed, or what do you call it, cruise control, is going to be set like 1 mile an hour under, right? I don't want to go too slow and I don't want to go too fast.
Right. You look suspicious
right.
if you do that.
But and it's starting to now, like they're ginning up that's what you're doing. So the same, and it's, of course, it's the left repeating it. So the same people that hate the cops and want the cops to go away don't want you to tell other people the cops are there when they're running speed traps because that's going to stop the child sex.
Well, like, can't they pull anybody over for any reason anyway?
Probably, but you know,
like
you're getting in the way of the narrative.
Train them to come up with probable cause.
Yeah, like you're all like when you get pulled over for what it's worth, like for speeding, failure to signal a lane change, any of that shit. You in fact are being detained. So when you start that shit with the cop that pulled you over speeding, like, am I being detained? The answer is fucking yes, right? You're actually under arrest at that moment. Like, you're not going to jail unless you're stupid or you do have, like, 15 keys of coke in your trunk. But you are under arrest. I don't think people understand what arrest means.
Well, here they do checkpoints.
Yeah. Well, Jake Robinson, who occasionally comes up with some really useful information, told me he did a ride-along. And what they're doing is they're specifically looking for a specific type of vehicle and couple type.
Yep.
On 40. And they're always getting them in the direction where they don't have the drugs, they just have the money.
Because they're seizing the money.
Direction that is.
Yeah.
Asset forfeiture.
I think that's heading down to Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, we
'cause
do
So
it.
then that would be
They're gonna live-
heading.
They do it. They do it
West?
right here in Dixon. Right here in Dixon, there's a big interdiction there, and they're
Yeah.
going to pull the two people apart.
That's
and
what Jake
one
said.
one guy's the drug money, one guy's the drug guy, one guy's the money guy, and they're going to ask them where they're going and see if their stories match. Because half the time, one of them can't even communicate with the other dude.
Yeah. Yeah. What Jake said is they're looking for dude about in his 40s, woman in her like early 30s, late 20s, late model car, driving the exact speed limit, very careful. And that's exactly, they pull them apart. And when their stories don't match, that is the impetus to search the vehicle. And they're looking for money. And then the way they justify it is, well, if we take their drugs, they just get more drugs. But if we take their money, we weaken the whole organization.
Yeah.
No, motherfuckers.
No,
you guys are
they
buying
figure-
$70,000 police cruisers with drug money. That's
I
what
think
you're
they
doing.
only keep 25% of it in the civil
Ah,
forfeiture thing. So
bro,
then, like, some
this-
percentage goes to the feds.
Don't care. Give me a privateering license that says I get to do that shit and I get to keep 25%. I will have a motley crew together in a week, and in 6 months, we'll be talking to you from Jakistan.
Hunter
Right.
says, well, shit,
I'm not
that's
saying I
me.
would do it,
Hunter,
but if
get
I
your story
did-
straight with your wife. That's all I'm saying.
25% of what you can steal doing that model, yeah, you can do all right for yourself.
Yeah, and I think the Institute for Justice was trying to go after that, but I don't know.
They
that
need to.
They were. They may have something ongoing right now, or they lost. I don't know. Which.
Well, see, here's the thing. If I catch them with the drugs, if I'm a cop and that's my bag, and I catch them with like 10 keys of fentanyl laced fucking coke in the trunk, okay, they're going to prison. I have them in the commission of a crime, the transference of drugs for the purpose of distribution. It's a serious felony. If I catch them with the money, I take the money and I charge them with nothing.
And nobody ever hears from most of them again.
And they have to prove that they have a legitimate claim to the money. And it's, even if they do, it is a huge uphill battle.
Even if you win in court, they do not compensate you for your legal fees. They don't have to
No.
pay you back. Even if they have to give the money back and you've spent all that money going up through the courts, they don't compensate you for any of that money or time.
So they
Yeah.
take 20 grand from me. I spent 30 to get it back. I lost 10.
Yep.
Yeah, if they made them pay you back for the legal fees, that would happen less often. That one change.
Stymie, fentanyl apparently only comes from Venezuela. Do you have a problem that they blew that fishing boat up? Like, do you care?
I
Like,
don't
real
know.
question. Like, do you care? I don't give a shit.
No. I
No,
don't know if
not
I
at
care.
all.
If they
Well,
got it right,
hit
I
some
don't
more of
care.
them. Yeah.
If they got it right, I don't care. If it really was like, I don't believe it was, but if it was like some dudes out fishing for bonita or something, like I did that, then I care because innocent people were killed. If it's legit, but I guess my bigger concern is like, are we gonna fucking invade Venezuela now?
Oh, geez.
We have F-35 sitting in Puerto Rico. We've got the whole goddamn naval fleet off the coast. I don't think we're gonna, but it makes me think of when we were gonna, invade Canada and make them a 51st state. Like, has Trump lost his fucking mind, or is this some other head fake? And if it is, what is the point? Because doesn't most of the drugs come in from Mexico? Maybe it's not now. Maybe
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
Is that what it is? That they shut down the border asshole tight, and now they're using these boats? Because like I remember seeing a documentary on this years ago coming out of Colombia, and they were taking these catamarans that were like sailboats, putting motors on them, getting rid of the sails, and modifying the ballast so that they almost go underwater. And so they're like semi-submarines, and they were bringing drugs into California that way. So is that what's going on? Like, honestly, if that boat was loaded up with fentanyl and they blew it up, I don't give a shit.
Stymie, they come from China further south and then into Mexico. And
Yeah,
because that border's closed down, they're trying to bring them straight into the United States.
Yeah. I mean, that's that. I understand what he's saying, but like, I just don't know that you can just bring the drugs in anymore.
And the whole dev group thing that Trump said he didn't know anything about. I saw that story probably 2 weeks ago, and people were saying that is the exact storyline out of a video game. Has that been debunked? Is that in fact out of a video game? because a lot of dudes, they take these little things and then you see these "we're going to war" YouTube channels report on this shit and make all this clickbait. Did Dev Group, did that actually happen? I remember hearing that in a story, a prepper fiction book,
Okay.
where that exact story happened in that book. Not that it didn't happen in real life also, but has it been verified that that actually happened?
What's been
It's 100%. Who confirmed it?
confirmed? What?
He's saying that Dev Group went into North Korea over something, and there was a mix-up, and they killed some fishers or somebody in the water, and then they punctured their lungs so that the bodies would sink. How has it been confirmed? Like, who brought that out?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying, where is that confirmed and what makes it confirmed? Did you guys hear that Elon Musk had called for arrests and punishment of high-level U.S. politicians for the money laundering scheme through USAID? Have you noticed also it's riot season? Why are there no riots right now? Because all those paid actors aren't being paid to riot. Most of those cities are not on fire right now. There is no riot season.
Wait, is that you, Jack?
That's
I'm checking this Navy SEAL thing. I mean, it is being covered by major news outlets. Now, the left, it's New York Times, ABC News, CNN, but it's not like it's only on some dude's blogs. I mean, I don't know what to think about that.
And apparently it happened during when Trump was in control. Is that
That's what I heard.
From first term.
Yeah, I've been out of the mix for a week and a half, so I haven't done deep into it. But I don't know. That could have happened, but I don't think in 2025, until you see evidence, you should be saying it's 100% absolutely happened for anything.
And even when you see evidence, you need to question that at this point, because there's some realistic.
Look at the video. Is there a sixth finger or some shit going on?
Yeah.
Is there a video?
There is not. I mean, the Navy SEALs, I don't know if you know this, John, when they go on clandestine missions, they don't do that. Unless
they do
propaganda. Unless
they do.
Remember what was her name in the first Gulf War? Jessica something. Like they roped in to rescue her, and
Jessica Lynch.
All this night vision video and shit. And it was like they actually went into a hospital that had called them and said, "Hey, we have one of your people. You want to come get them?"
Yeah, Jessica Lynch.
That was it. Yeah, they tried so hard to make her a hero, and she was with a transportation company. It sucked what happened to her. They got her out. It is what it is. Like she fired her weapon even. I would hope so. That is
Southern border was the highest traffic through Arizona and the Four Corners area, but they're tightening that area down, and now the runners are switching to abandoned ports in Louisiana and Florida.
So that would be boats.
Yeah, I asked Scully, I said, whatever happened to all those submarines? He's like, they're not real submarines, like the narco submarines.
Yeah.
You can see them from the air.
Yeah.
I would think even like the bioluminescence, they're not at depth. Like you can see them out there.
No, that's what I was saying. What they're using is I saw this whole documentary on it from years ago. They use these catamarans and they weigh the ballast down, and it's not even below the water. It's just that if you're out in the open ocean and you have a boat that's only coming a couple feet above the water line, it's very hard to visually see. But yeah, the aerial assets we have today, no, that's not happening.
We don't even need aerial assets. I mean, they got satellites can see most of that shit.
Well, that's
yes.
I just got a 1.5 foot GIS map of my property from Google.
Okay.
For free.
For free.
So, which is, it's not an inch like Jeff Lawton was talking about, but I was like, but that was free.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad place to start.
So what do you think we have with all our money being printed and spent inside the clandestine levels of government? You remember, what was the movie? It was one of the Tom Clancy ones where they identified the chick by her tits in a terrorist camp from a satellite image. And that was in 2005 or something. I when that happened, I was like, bullshit. Now I'm like, you could probably do that.
They can identify.
It was I'm serious. There was it wasn't Red October, but it was one like that. and they like see the cleavage, and they're like, "That's her." It was some redheaded chick that was connected to the terrorists.
Yeah, they identify people by their gait, just by
That's
the way
it.
they move.
That's it. Clear and present danger. That was the one.
You guys, Matt Bracken.
I'm not a perv here. I just remember shit.
Matt Bracken wrote a series.
boobs.
Matt Bracken wrote a series of books called Enemies, Foreign and Domestic, and then there was Domestic Enemies and Foreign Enemies.
Okay.
And I'm re-listening to those on audiobooks, and those were done in the 90s. And if you listen to what the storyline is, like almost every single bit of that has happened, kind of like pieces of all of it have happened. The complete downfall of the United States, and then New Mexico becoming Mexico and stuff like that. Not quite, but that is their hopes.
I'm reading the Alberta thing now.
Oh, now you're into the Alberta thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really understand. Like, they're going to build a pipeline, but does it go to America? Where does it go?
I thought they were.
I'm not paying the money. You have to pay them money to get the full story. I'll do it later. I have ways around.
Yeah.
that.
Well, I had it summarized, and they did. It didn't tell me that part, but it did write me a news anchor style script in my voice,
Yeah.
which I did not ask for.
Okay.
But it'll give it to you. Agris Tax Advice says, love the first book, and Enemies, Foreign and Domestic. Wasn't really a fan of the second.
Never read the third.
Yeah, I haven't actually done that series, and I'm looking for something to read that's not too interesting, but is semi-interesting at night.
Anybody that does not check
it down on, like, go ahead.
S2 Underground, you guys, that should be on everybody's radar. He does a bottom up front kind of reporting. They're usually short, and he's a S2 guy. He was an Intel dude, and he does a very compact, this is what's happening in the world, and this is why you want to know it and how it could affect us in the future.
Oh, that sounds cool. I love it. Yeah, every time I get on one of these, I get to write something.
What was that? What's that resource, John?
S2 Underground.
S2, just like similar to Mike Shelby's Forward Observer.
Okay.
Bear does a real good one too. Bears is always very good.
Yep.
Is he on YouTube?
Good for years.
Yeah, he's on. They're all on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, I got him. Okay.
Yeah, you'll like him.
All right.
And it's brief.
I like free.
Brief, and free. And free.
Okay. So what is the latest snake hijink that you've been involved in? I've seen emu hijinks going on over there where Amanda was riding an emu.
She didn't actually ride the emu.
I know.
The emus are as big as Amanda, though. Yeah. Amanda catnapped a kitten the other night, rescued it from a restaurant. Little teeny, super dirty. It's a feral cat. We got an anaconda the other day, like an actual anaconda. And when I posted it on YouTube, people were like, there's no reason that you should have an anaconda. You shouldn't be allowed to have an anaconda. And then people are like, he's not allowed to have an anaconda. You can't have anacondas. It's illegal. You can't have retics. I'm like, well, you'll be happy to know that I have 65 more of them. Please comment on all my other videos. It's always amazing how people want to have some say over what somebody else does that directly affects them in no way at all, right? If these animals got loose here, the cold would kill them. Like, it was 55 degrees in the garage yesterday morning. Like, if I have anacondas, Burmese pythons, retics get out here, they die within like not long. Like, they just can't live here.
Yeah. If I made that claim, it would be probably true. If he makes that claim, it's absolutely.
It's absolutely. Well, I think he went down to 0 last year.
My climate, they might make it like, if you get one of those really mild winters, they might make it 1 winter, but they ain't making it 2. They ain't making it 1.
Like, they get loose in San Diego. I used to be on a call from the zoo to pick up big lizards and big snakes through the Herpetological Society, and we would find them. They hadn't been out there long. Like, there's not a breeding population in San Diego of boa constrictors and Burmese pythons. It's just not there.
Well, I'll put it this way. Like, so the glades are full of all these exotics, right? Jacksonville has none.
Yeah. And they're running out of food.
Jacksonville, they're not getting a freaking Camden, Tennessee. Right.
No,
there's alligators in Jacksonville. Trust me, I used to play with them as a kid.
So what you're telling me, John, is the snake police have not knocked on your door yet?
Yeah.
No, but the snake police have knocked on my door before.
Anacondas, though, John?
Yeah, I have an anaconda. Yeah.
Did you get a green or a yellow?
Oh, the real one, the green one.
Oh, he went full on.
Yeah.
You know, like as that animal grows, to like never handle it alone, right?
Well, I don't handle anything over 8-10 feet anyways alone.
Okay.
Like when we do cages,
You just don't handle them once they get that big. What do you do?
I have a retic that's 16 feet, 100 pounds right now.
Yeah.
And when we open the door, she comes out about 4 feet, mouth open.
Yeah.
As soon as she's out, no problem. It's just cage response. They're looking for food. So when we clean the cages of the big animals, we typically feed them at the same time. So that big snake comes out. We give it a big ass rabbit. It's occupied for about 15 minutes. Amanda climbs in the snake cage, pulls all the paper out, and then we change. We've already got all our paper pre-cut and everything. That's the only one Amanda's really involved in. Cody and I, and usually Brandel, do the other big snakes because he's filming. But if something went terribly wrong, we have 2 other adults present. Now, the anaconda, as it gets bigger, the real answer for caging stuff like that is you keep them in eagle buildings, like these sheds. There's a dude in California, and he just bought a massive horse farm, and he's building a zoo out. And each of those big horse stalls, he uses those for his big snakes. So he's got big retics, berms. Looks like a great setup, easy to heat.
So they basically have a room they live in.
Yes. Just like when I was a kid, people with, massive snakes like that, they would use a spare room in their house as the cage for that animal.
Yeah. I think that's the only way to do it right. I mean, you're talking about a green anaconda can get 400 or 500 pounds.
500 pounds, yeah.
It kind of needs at least a 10 by 10 space, at least.
Yeah, I mean, and with the sheds the way they are now, we can build out a 15-15 whatever, and then you take a stock tank, and you frame around it and lock it in so he can't get under it. And then you've got your drain already. So we just open it to drain it, and we have one to fill it. But you interact with those animals on a very frequent basis, but never with prey.
No. But I mean, when I was a kid, we had I worked at a snake thing for a while, and we had a guy in it. It was only about like 10-foot female boa, and she broke his wrist.
Yeah.
And she was not being aggressive. She just kind of wrapped around him, and he got his hand the wrong way in the coil, and she broke his wrist. We had to like unwrap her, and she was like, "Oh, what's up, man? I didn't do nothing. I was just hanging on."
How's it going, man?
Yeah.
I have 11 12-foot purple albino female retic, and you'll hold her around your neck, and she will wrap that tail up and back around.
Yes.
And she'll like literally almost dislocate your shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the biggest I ever kept, I had about an 8-foot, but it was a male red tail.
Yeah.
And he was chill, and they just don't get the girth that the females do. And then I had I know you're in the Thai snake business, right? I had a Thai rat. He got about 11 foot, but he was only about as big around as my wrist at that size.
Amanda,
you have to buy all the Thai rat snakes now.
I think we probably are. Amanda just got a mandarin. She's got a 2-year-old mandarin rat that's beautiful. And then we've got the Vietnamese blue beauty rat snakes.
Yeah, the Vietnamese blue beauties are great. The Thai beauties, though, are the yellow ones. They get bigger.
They put on a good show, right? They hood out vertical.
Oh, they get all nasty, but
rather than a cobra. Yeah, but the tongue comes, as long as you keep them not quite tame, they'll still put on that amazing show.
They never get fully tame. Like Thai rats, you can handle them and all, and they won't bite you, but they never like a boa or a python will just sit on you and be like, okay, cool, I'm on a warm thing now. I'm chill. The Thai rats, they're more like, why is this thing that I'm not going to bite because I know it'll kill me? Why is it touching me? Like they just keep maneuvering and they never want to just chill out.
Yeah, she's got a pair of tiger rat snakes. The black.
I was just saying, there's your other one you got that wants to bite. They like to bite the shit out of you.
Guys are keeping them in grow tents, and I saw Amanda just got this little grow tent looking thing to keep her filament for her 3D printers in. And I'm like, man, that would make an awesome cage for like green tree python because you could hold humidity. Yeah, and you can fully see in this thing, and it's framed out, windows, and it's already got the PVC in it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's designed for airflow, humidity control, temperature control.
Yeah, it's like a mushroom tent thing. But you can
sounds like a boom room.
A boom room for boom slangs.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay away from hots at least, John?
Nah, no venomous.
Okay, good.
No venomous. I saw a guy, Cody showed me at dinner last night. He's like, "What are these?" I go, "I don't know, but they're venomous, whatever they are." Beautiful, bright green. And it popped up for me later that day, and I was curious. So I'm reading the comment. There were Eastern green mambas this dude was holding.
Yeah, no.
And somebody in the comment, he's holding 2 of them, and then he just put them down on the ground. And somebody said, "Look at him." The whole time he held them, not even a tongue flake. Somebody not even a tongue flick. Those snakes get held all the time.
Wow. No.
Are all the snakes a prelude to the SOE exotic leather product?
No, it's a prelude to the zoo.
Yeah.
The leather
We all
product
knew
is
you were
come
going to
from
end up with a
emus.
zoo one day.
The leather is going to come from the emu herd.
Yeah, and I have no opposition to snake skin and leather and
Yeah.
hides. Like, I don't give a shit. I think all those dudes hunt, and I think they are, all those guys hunting all the berms and stuff down in Florida. I think all that stuff's getting used.
Yeah, you have to kill them apparently. Like some of the stuff, like the tokay geckos and all,
Legally, yeah.
but the pythons, I think specifically, must
Yeah.
be killed, which I find to be stupid.
Especially with the import ban on them, right?
Yeah,
Like, there's no more importation.
yeah.
I was
And
2 seconds away from wearing that same shirt today, John.
Yeah, I love this shirt. Our new one coming out, the one we're printing right now, is Department of War,
Mm-hmm.
funded 25.
You need to do another run of something with the vertical and the patch, like you did with the Second Amendment one. That just shirt looks freaking good.
I agree.
Every time I wear that shirt, people are like, "Where can I get one?" I'm like, "They're sold out." Or I go on the site, you have like smalls.
Yeah, or N5X.
Yeah, like 57X and triple extra small. Like,
We're one of the few companies that prints up to 5X. Same with belts. Like, we do up to a 60 on the website, but you can order 60 and put in, "Hey, I'm 74," and we'll actually build you a 74-inch belt. And all of our rigs come with plenty of adjustment. Like, the rig that fits me will fit a dude that's like 450 pounds.
That's some of the benefits of getting your equipment, John.
And guys are like, "I don't want out of shape guys wearing my gear." Well, I'll take it. But we'll sell it to you. Come on over. We'll even give you better gear.
I'm gonna send you some shirts that are just plain black shirts I'm buying on Amazon.
Okay.
And the reason is to see if you could use them to print on.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can, but they're like a bamboo poly blend. But the thing is, they're long for the size.
Sure. I can get, like, Cody gets an extra long shirt.
Yeah.
If you want that, I can get a different blank for you.
Because, most people around here, we tend to carry things that go bang and like long. And then there's people like me. We have like, I have like a long
Jack's all
middle.
torso.
Yeah.
Chris,
I'm like 5'11", but my legs are the legs of like a 5'8" dude.
Yeah. Crystal, you're absolutely right. Allowed versus able. But under their jurisdiction and their stipulation, when you go in and hunt those snakes, you were supposed to dispatch them. And like the guys you see hunting all the iguanas with the high-powered air rifles. So the church, for instance, or the school hires these dudes to come out because the iguanas manure, especially the big males, it's full of salmonella. And you have children. So the school or municipality hires them to come out, and then they bring people with them that are paying them to come shoot them. And then every tail you cut off, you get a bounty for each tail. And I'm not sure how they're paying, but I know they just did a massive Burmese python competition that ran for 6 days in the Everglades. I believe it was 6 days. And then the winner got $100,000 in a truck. But there's all kinds of companies that pour into this thing to do this. And they caught, like, there's dudes looking for, there's a guy puts a video up and he's like, "Is today the day I get my 20-footer?" And so far, nobody's actually got a 20-foot Burmese out there, but they've come close, 18s and 19s.
That's Fisher Garrett. I follow him. He's the guy that's yoink. He yoinks everything.
Zoink. Yeah, I love it.
And boof,
love it.
Right? He'll be like, "Oh, look, an American crocodile." Boof.
Yep. Love it.
How that dude has not been like seriously injured yet, I don't know. I just think he actually really knows what he's doing, and maybe he's hamming the camera a bit.
Yeah.
With how he's doing it. Yeah, the yoink guy. Yeah, a gentle yoink. He'll have like a handful of like 12 tokay geckos, like all pissed off, trying to bite him.
When I met Amanda and she stayed at my house the first time, I had tokay geckos running around my apartment loose, and they chirp. They call each other at night. So we would just take crickets and just let them go, and they would just chase. You'd hear them run across the wall, run across the ceiling. And now they got these tokays that somebody has just found, and they're breeding, and they look like stars in the sky. They're like a dark purple, and they just have these white star patterns all over. They're beautiful. And tokay geckos are no longer like a $10 lizard. There are $100 tokay geckos out there. Like the anacondas, when I was getting anacondas 12 years ago, we were paying $75 if you bought, 10 anacondas. Anacondas are between $1,200 and $1,500 for babies now.
How much?
$1,200 to $1,500 for baby anacondas. There is
when are you gonna start selling them?
3 years.
That's nuts.
3 years.
I guess breeding them is a commitment because you need adults.
Yeah, 3 years. Yep.
And
well, it's easy to find them. People are scared of them, just like big male retics. It's easy to people get these things as pets, and they're very quick to want to get rid of them once they're bigger.
Yeah, I'm the Grinch at the Arlington Reptile Show every year. I go every year, and I ruin some kid's life at least 4 or 5 times every time I go, with a mother that's about to buy like berms or something. And I'm like, look, right. And you look at this kid, he's like 14, 15 years old. You're like, where's this kid going in a few years? And mom's like, well, he's going to college, right? Okay. So he's going to leave behind a 16-foot snake. What are you going to do with it? Because he's not taking it to his college dorm.
A breeder like that would probably do well to be like, hey, when you don't want this thing anymore,
bring it back.
Before you give it away, bring it back to us.
No, they're just, you've been to those shows. They're just, oh yeah, like you don't want a pair?
Yeah.
You got to have a pair. And if you're going to get a pair, well, you might as well get a trio so you can go into breeding, right?
We see a lot more
responsibility.
We see a lot more responsibility now than I think we used to. We've been at a lot of shows.
You know how you have like it's almost like a gun show where they have the private sellers. There'll be like some people with some tables that only have like 2 or 3 animals. Yeah. And always be some dude trying to get rid of his son's, boa. Like the one I was at is a beautiful, very kind of like pink coral, natural female red tail. But she was like 9 foot. She was only like 4 years old. She wasn't done yet. And it was exactly that. His kid went to college. He's like, my kid's really responsible. And I'm like, dude, if your kid was really responsible, he would have known he couldn't take it to college.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And he had a couple other snakes that I actually bought one from him, but like, no, I don't want your 9-foot boa. And there's all kinds of dwarf constrictors now, man. You don't have to do that. You want a boa? Get a Madagascar boa. They only get about 6-7 foot, and they're cool.
It seems like a lot of animal I got to keep warm inside.
Yeah. I could never do what John's doing, and I have to add the word again. Right? I did it once, and I'm not. But I never did it like he's doing it. I had small animals, right? Mm-hmm. I had a couple big ones. I had some boas, and I had some of the bigger rat snakes and all. But mostly, I had these things called African house snakes. And I had this idea to disrupt the market. I was going to breed all these new morphs, and I was importing animals straight from South Africa from this dude named Donald Sutherland, and it was really cool and all. But then this isn't ever going to make me enough money to stop doing what I'm doing. So then maybe I don't need to do this anymore. I had like 300 animals in my office. In my house. That's
a lot of work if you want to keep that from selling like 300 animals in your office, in your house.
And like 100 were adults and breeders, right? So I had like 200. I sold all those off, and then I just gave everything away after that. It was
my son Cody was asking this morning how long till Jack has snakes again.
It's not happening. Everybody believes it is. I'm saying, maybe when I get this office redone, maybe that thing that I built for fish tanks has one really cool display animal. Mate, and
what would you get?
I don't know. It would be really great setup for a Brazilian rainbow boa because they look good and they hang out. I would want something more deneural, something that hangs out during the day. Those freaking what do you call tiger rats? Those are cool, but they like to bite. Yeah. Boegas, like mangroves are cool. Yeah. Like it'd be something cool. But then if I do something like that, I'm probably not being able to use it with kids. I would rather have something I can. Probably the safest bet that's a good display animal is a really gorgeous carpet python.
Yeah, Amanda
Because
got
they
a
can get
jungle
dog
carpet.
tame where you could put it in the hand of a kid you want to get unafraid. Because the last thing I want to do is put a snake in the hand of a kid I'm trying to break fear from, and then the snake bites them.
Yeah, we
Right?
just got a jungle carpet python. It's almost gone. It got me Saturday night,
Yeah.
right across here.
They always
She's
get
got
you
it.
right there, John.
Well, because I just reach in there. They're gonna get me or they're not. We're gonna
Yeah.
find out.
The ones I had that bit me all the time, I had a trio of rock pythons, not rock pythons.
Oh, yeah.
Spotted. The ones that eat bats, they only get
Beautiful.
about a couple 3 foot long, and
Yeah.
they had their little caves they lived in. And all you
Beautiful.
had to do when you reached in to clean their cage or whatever is just turn the cave mouth so that you weren't out. And I never did, and they always bit me, and I never cared. They just don't hurt. And it's that when they're inside that. So what they do in nature, they live right at the mouth of these bat caves, and they wait. And as the bats are flying in and out, they just grab one, and that's their dinner for the week. And so when they're in that hide and you've got movement, everything in their little snake brain just says, bite that thing.
Yeah,
And I get bit. Dorothy's like, why don't you just? I'm like, because it doesn't matter.
yeah. If we open like most of our caging for all the caging for big animals is open front.
Yeah.
And if you shoot your hand in there, you're going to get bit 99%. If you take the hook, tap them, it turns them off.
Yeah.
And almost all the time we can get them. Now, the bigger ones that we feel are aggressive, we open the cage, they start to come out, and then you can take them out, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that they get conditioned. And that's the other thing. And it's going to be harder for you because you have so many. When you have a few,
especially
what
in
you do
rats.
is you take that snake out every day for a few minutes
Yep.
so that more times than not, when that cage opens, they're not being fed. When you're
Especially
dealing with
in
animals, when that cage opens, 9 times out of 10, they are being fed. That's the dinner bell. And the heat ports are up and they're looking for something to eat. They're hungry.
Yeah. Especially in rack systems. They're just drawers, one after the other.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
The door opens, head comes out. And everybody's like, that snake's really aggressive. And you're like, no, it's not.
It knows it's about to be eaten. It's eating. Yeah, it's got to
Yeah, but when you stick your hand in there, it's like I sense warmth.
her sound just went out. We have sound. I hear Jack.
She'll be back.
Jack hears me.
Yeah. We muted Nicole somehow by accident. Maybe she'll come back. I don't know. What are we going to do without her? I'm not
Talk
ready
about
to be in
snake.
charge yet.
Just keep doing what we're doing.
I have to do my first real show tomorrow. Yeah, she said her sound went out. There we go. We'll let her speak from beyond. Maybe she'll be back. I don't know. Yeah, I got my
weird.
first real show, John, since I came back tomorrow. I did a rewind yesterday because I think I have the, what do they call it? Something stupid. Oh, razor blade COVID.
You have that right now?
That's what I think I have. She entered the studio. Let's see if we can hear her. Nicole?
Apparently
Oh,
there's
I'm
a
back.
brand. Yeah, we got you. We hear you. Yeah,
Oh,
apparently
yeah.
there's a
Like,
new
all turned
super
off.
COVID going around. I mean, I don't
razor
know.
blade.
I wonder where it
It's
originated. I wonder where they released this one at.
California. California. And I don't know if both Dorothy and I ended up with sore throats coming off the boat, but I think she had a sore throat going on. So she was like the typhoid Mary, and she affected the whole ship, including me. And it didn't get me till I got home. So my voice was just raspy as crap. And yesterday it just seemed like I got other things to get caught up on. So I threw out a rewind. So tomorrow I've got my first real episode that's just me, except it's an interview. And I've got this guy named Dylan and then John Pugliano coming on. We're going to be talking about the resurgence of nuclear power.
Oh, I was looking forward to
Yeah.
that episode.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You got another
We had a
question
John
here from-
moment.
Yeah. How big do those red-sided garter snakes get? Not that big, man.
The Googleizer says 18 to 55 inches, which is a vast difference.
Yeah. I've seen some come out of like Nebraska, the red-sided they have up there. They get about 3 foot,
Yeah,
but they get fat.
there's
I
a
mean, they
there's a
get to,
guy
like, they're eating adult mice, younger rats inside.
there's a guy on Facebook that's got amazing garter snakes, like incredible stuff.
The orange ones with the black neck, I don't know what they're called. Those are gorgeous. They're very expensive. And I know you guys have the red sides, but you don't have the San Francisco variant with the
No.
blue. That's
And the blue-sided garters are beautiful too. You can get them, and they at about age 2, they gain a ton of blue in them.
What'd you say, Jack?
Nicole's like, fuck, here we go.
Oh
Snakes.
no, I did it on purpose. I love hearing about snakes. I mean, I don't have any snakes. I don't plan to have any snakes, but I always know. All I have to do is bring up snakes, and y'all start telling me stuff I don't know about snakes. So I enjoy it.
They're cool critters. I think the reason I like them is they're misunderstood. Like, it amazes me. Like, you have a corn snake, right? And you got somebody that's afraid of it. And you're like, hey, man, do you want to just handle this animal and lose your fear of it? Because it literally can't hurt you. It has a head the size of my thumb. Like, and they're like, no, while they pet my 12-pound cat with 20 fucking razor blades at its disposal that ate my arm today, but they're not afraid of the cat, but they're afraid of this tiny ass little corn snake. Yeah, the cat got me today, Nicole. It was my own fault.
Oops.
Well, he was on the bar, the outside bar, on the outside kitchen, and he was just looking over, and I tried to make sure he knew I was there, but as I went to pet him, the two dogs came storming around, and but that's my point. Like, they're not afraid of a cat. A cat will fuck you up.
Yeah, at least it didn't get you in the face.
We've had probably a dozen people tell us that they're deathly afraid of snakes in the last couple months. The FedEx lady came in, and we get snakes delivered here all the time, like at least multiple times a week. And they write on there live animals, live reptiles. And somebody had written on one of the boxes live snakes. And she's like, I am scared to death of snakes. Get this off my truck. Here's this thing. I go, well, listen, I'm supposed to open it in front of you. And she's like, oh, no. I'm like, look, we have like a zoo. Everything's in cages. I go, do you want to see? Like, listen, I'm not going to throw it at you. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to make fun of you. Like, it's going to be just like going to a zoo. And she's like, yeah, actually, I would like to see that. And now every time she delivers it, she's like, will you open them up? Can I look at it? Brandel, my video dude, deathly afraid of snakes, like deathly afraid. He touches them now, like on his own. He's like, can I touch that? What's it feel like? Is it wet? And now he stands super close to him. Like, he's almost gotten hit a couple times when they come flying out of the cages.
It's not now a big Boyd or something can do some things. You can get some stitches, but like, most of the stuff people are afraid of, like the worst I ever seen was when I was in high school. This friend of mine named Nick, we're out walking around my dad's like back of the house and all, and I've got a 22 with me, and all of a sudden he's like, shit, like that, like for real. He's like, I'm like, what? He goes, snake, shoot it. And I look, and I'm looking like at his feet and shit, and there's nothing there, and it's like the snake is like under this thing we had to keep tools, and it's a little garter snake. It's not even as big as my little finger. It's like Nicole's little finger, and it's just sitting there looking at us, and he wants me to shoot it, and I would literally be like shooting into like shovels and picks and shit, and like I'm like, and it's like 10 feet away from him, and I'm like,
and you're like,
no, I went in there, and I'm like, he tries to get away, and my ass is sticking out, and I'm crawling, and he's freaking out, you're gonna die. I'm like, and at this point I'm like 16. So, no, I'm like, hey, look, and I'm chasing this fucking, and this guy was like 6'2", huge dude, right? And he's running his fucking ass. Facebook went to shit.
There goes Facebook.
Yeah,
it's on top of my screen here. That's probably my feed dropping off Facebook.
It is.
Yeah. Whatever. You still got a check mark.
Somebody said, I think it's great they protect snakes in Tennessee. Yeah, I've recently heard that. People still kill them. And whatever, on your property, do what you're going to do, man. If you got venomous animals, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't kill them myself or relocate. Probably closer to kill than relocate.
Well, and my understanding was if it's a danger to your children or livestock, you can.
Yeah.
And
I get that. I get that. For most people, you're better off killing it because you don't know what you're doing to relocate it.
Yeah, especially if you don't know what it is. I'd rather them err on the side of caution. Like, I'm not gonna. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they killed that poor snake. I mean, do what you're going to do.
What I hate is when somebody like hacks up a corn snake or a milk snake or something and then posts a picture of it like they're the defender of the free fucking world. That's what bugs me.
We literally see people weave into the wrong lane of traffic to run over box turtles after it rains here.
Oh, that's
like
awful.
I would assume that's probably illegal too. They weave over to kill possums in the road.
You're killing box turtles on purpose, man.
Yep. Yeah.
If you hit one by accident, I get it. But like, if you're going out of your way to kill a turtle, unless it's like red ears and painted fuckers in a pond, because they fucking populate the shit.
Yeah.
Well, the snappers are the issue, not the box turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell kids to kill, like they eat baby ducks and stuff.
Yeah.
Kill the
do.
turtles in the pond.
I currently have a snapper turtle killed duck in my pond.
They will.
The
Get to.
regular, like the painted turtles and shit, though,
Yep.
they do it too. Like if you, one of the most cringe moments I ever saw, this dude had his kids and they were feeding the baby ducks at the city park, and you start hearing pork, pork, and you're telling like, get out of here, you know. And there's like 24 babies. Now there's like 12 babies, and they're just plunk, plunk, and the kid finally starts catching on. Like, dude, get out of here, you know. And he just look at the babies, feed them more. I'm like you're chumming. You're chumming the water, dude. Because they'll have like, there's so many turtles in there. The reason they do that is they're underfed, you know. And the one down here that I take my grandson fishing in, the retards that run that park, if they're driving around and they see a turtle, they pick it up and put it in the pond. I mean, from like miles away. Like if they see one come out of the creeks or whatever, they're bringing it to the pond, and it's like
We've
they're
watched
trying
them.
to manage it for fish, and like all the fish in it are this big now.
They'll climb chain link fence. Like turtles will climb right over. So will alligators. They will climb right over your chain. I've watched
Yes,
them
they
do
will.
it here. Yeah, map turtles climbing fences here.
They will also burrow through your dam.
Yes, they will. Yeah,
They'll do that.
That's happened to us here.
We found a box turtle one time when it rained really bad, and we threw it in the back of the pickup truck to let it go somewhere safe. And we stopped somewhere. We came out, and it was about ready to plunge. It had climbed up the corner of the box, and it was like wobbling on the corner of the bed. I didn't know they could do that.
post turtles.
Yeah, that's what he was. But he was about to go for it. Like it was like nobody, no, we'll hook you up. Who would kill a box turtle? They're like one of the most like non-offensive little critters that
They're cute.
they're cute
We've
as
got-
shit.
Yeah.
We've got sulcatas here right now that are probably 3-4 inches, but they'll be within 4 or 5 years. I mean, they'll be 30 pounds.
Are they the ones that kind of have like a diamond shape on their shell?
No, those are these are African spur thigh tortoises.
Okay.
They're the third largest tortoise, and then you have Aldabras, and then you have Galapagos.
I think David's buddy Toby Nicole has one of those
Star tortoises, maybe.
down in like the Austin area, and they have like a burrow they built for it with heat in it so it can survive the winters, and they use it basically to graze the field
Oh, that's interesting.
because it's much easier to take care of than like a cow or a goat or some shit. And it just but they had to like reinforce all the fencing up like 2.5-3 foot because this thing weighs like 400 pounds now.
Yeah,
And it wasn't trying to get out. It would just lean against the fence, and the whole fence would just get fucked up from this thing.
you got to put riprap there too because they'll burrow under.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty happy. It's a pretty big yard. He's not trying to get anywhere, but they said he was just destroying the fence, but like, just kind of like, oh man, sorry. Like, yeah.
So it's
Yep,
not
thank
all
you.
it's not all black snakes that eat rattlesnakes. What you want is king snakes. You want
This
king
black
snakes.
snake thing. Stop that.
There's a lot of snakes
Not
that are
even better.
black. It's
I'm
not
just interested in the rattler biting bull testicles. On
I
that
saw
pond.
that. That could be a problem, I would guess.
That's because the bulls don't give a shit about them. That's why they ignore them, and then they wish they didn't. Too much testosterone. They've always said cattle are one of the stupidest animals, and I do believe it.
Have you
Maybe.
has that actually happened? Like the rattlesnakes are biting. What happens when that happens? You put that.
Well, I'm wondering, is it
down,
like
right?
you cut them off and then the rattlers get them? That's what I wasn't quite sure.
I don't know. I believe Bonnie because Bonnie's been around forever and doesn't make shit up. But
But if you have envenomation, like that's going to kill that animal.
you would
Like
no,
we're not gonna treat it with, Cromag or Crofab or something.
But would it kill? Will it kill a bull?
That's
I don't
a good
know.
question.
Yeah, I don't know the
Never
answer to
found-
that.
Get him in the balls.
Never
That
found-
guy's breeding days are over.
Yeah, indigo snakes will absolutely. That's their main diet is other
Yeah.
snakes. Yeah, same with
Snakes and
cobras. King cobras eat other snakes.
Yeah, indigos are big time snake predator. You know what else?
Bonnie is now on the internet clicking buy.
One of the snakes that predates the hell out of other snakes, just smaller ones, but it's also venomous. Is corals. Corals prefer to eat other snakes than just about anything. When I was breeding African house snakes, I had a guy near me that worked with corals, and I would just basically sell him super cheap all my culls because you had all these baby snakes that had no value whatsoever, and he would euthanize them and feed them to his corals. And you can't go letting African house snakes go in the United States responsibly. And they would survive, by the way, John. They're from parts of like the High Veld in South Africa. They would survive in our climate. So
yeah,
that could be an ecosystem disruption. I don't want to be the guy that did that.
They just had something happen in European Union. I'm not sure where exactly, but they banned king snakes. So everybody that had king snakes there, they had to ship them out of the country, and a ton of that stuff just came back into the United States. I was talking to a guy from the UK last night on the live, and he said it wasn't UK, but it did happen over there. Apparently,
they're like, we haven't banned anything recently. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, they said some of them got loose, and there was a population found somewhere. You know how that goes.
Oh.
Like deer.
Yeah.
We have an invasive species problem with animals that already escaped. Let's ban the ones in captivity. This will do nothing to fix your problem.
No.
The horse is out of the barn, right?
Yes. It's kind of like kudzu.
Yeah, kudzu.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't have kudzu because it's bad. See what it did. So you're saying, like, as far as I can see is kudzu, but the piece on my property is a problem.
Man, if you brought if they brought those grazing goats in and fenced them into those areas, like movable fence, they'll completely clean that entire area up to the point where stuff will grow back rather
especially
quickly.
if you rotate them and keep rotating them, eventually it's gone.
Like the tubers are still in the ground because it's like a potato, but
you
they'll clean all. Yeah, you don't want to eat it, but yeah, you can. I watched a video where they go out and dig up all this stuff and process it and made flour and made bread out of it and everything. And they still said it was absolutely horrible.
Really?
But you can get that. Like you could go into this, like when you drive from here to Jackson, Tennessee, there's mile maybe of just kudzu, and it's creeping. It'll be here within, a few years. But putting goats down, man, it really cleans those areas. That puts sunlight to the ground again.
That's why Nick Ferguson wanted me to get goats to begin with, because my other property that I no longer own had a kudzu problem. He's like, you just need to have goats, Nicole. And that unleashed a whole goat adventure where they were on my roof all the time. Now they're not.
At least they're not on your vehicles.
No, I have one of John's vehicle climbing goats here.
Yes. Yep.
Anacondas. We had rehomed them, but it fell through.
Anacondas for Asian carp, you're going to create a bigger problem. The anacondas are going to eat everything in addition to fish. Like they're going to eat all kinds of shit. Where are you at? What, Jack?
Ooh, Stymie?
Yeah, where's Stymie? Like what state?
I don't know if he's proposing that as a solution, or he's like, if Asian carp are bad, do you really want to do this? I'm not sure what he's saying.
Jason says kudzu noodles aren't bad.
Where have you had them?
Yeah. How do you make those? Is it from the root, from the flour, or?
I bet it's from the root.
From the tuber.
But then you could flavor it any way you wanted if it was done as a noodle. I've
been into the Chinese yam berries lately, which look like little potatoes.
Yeah.
Those are interesting. They're called air potatoes in Tennessee, but apparently the thing that's called air potatoes in Florida is poisonous, so now I'm calling them yam berries.
Okay. I know what you're talking about then, at least. I planted them here, they died.
Northern Indiana, got it. Oh, and it was sarcasm. So we have Asian carp around here, and then they do bow hunting stuff for it, and it's a pretty big deal. Like guys send helicopters in the day before to see where the fish are before the tournaments and stuff.
Have you ever seen them shooting with shotguns when they're jumping out of the water?
I've seen video of it. I've not seen it in real life. Yeah,
I haven't either, but it looks fun.
Purina puts big, huge rollbacks out whenever they're having those fishing competitions, the archery stuff, and everybody puts their fish in there. Apparently, they make dog food and cat food with those carp.
It seems like a natural solution problem thing. Like it'd make good cat food.
Yeah, it's killing out. Apparently they eat all the vegetation, all the algae and kelp, where all of your game fish and sunfish are going to breed. So
I get the problem. I'm just saying, like, we're really good at eradicating species.
Yeah.
Right. This is a species that could be a resource for a time that we could eradicate. Why? Or at least we could like no one would get mad. You see what I'm saying? Like if you like started mass gill netting these things, even Greenpeace would be like, it's okay. Like, but no one will do it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Kentucky Lake is doing the best at removing them. I'm on Kentucky Lake right here. This is the Tennessee River, which is the Kentucky Lake. The property I'm on has the water treatment plant and then the water. Like we're 1,000 yards from the lake.
Have you ever seen that water come up over the road, the highway?
No. When you get to the bridge, that entryway to the wildlife management, we've seen water come across there where there's dudes just standing there catching brim right there with fishing poles because you can't get across the road. But no, and our property here is about 500 feet above that also.
No,
plus we got that. Plus we have that massive. We've got that massive canyon between us and the property behind us, so the water would run. We're still both elevated quite a bit.
It'll be an island.
Yeah,
the island of Willis.
There is a lot of those things like that, though. Like, why don't we turn them into resources? Like the St. Johns River in Jacksonville has a real problem with water hyacinth, right? But everything we eat eats water hyacinth. And
pull it out,
cattle,
feed it to rabbits.
It's high protein cattle feed, right? Like you could literally have these barges just harvesting it and then, composting the roots and like an automatic. They make tools to do this in Africa where it separates the plant from the root because the only animal that'll eat the root of that plant is a duck. So you compost that and you take the top and you make it into meal and you feed it to cattle, chickens, ducks, like goats, sheep, everything eats it. And the reason that Florida said they don't want to do that is it might make it have more value and therefore people would want to keep it around.
Shit. We put water hyacinth in my middle pond. My ducks eat it faster than it can even grow in the middle pond. We pull water hyacinth out of the aquaponics and feed it directly to the rabbits. And then when I had goats, they would eat that also.
Did they eat the roots? Because I never believed a goat wouldn't eat anything.
I don't know if they eat the roots or not, but we never saw anything left from it. But once it dries out, 70% of it's water. Like there's not much left. You leave a pile out there for a day or two, it just melts away.
So I took about a 3-foot round ring, about 3 foot tall of goat fencing and like crammed it in there just to see as much as I could fit in there. And in a week it was 2 inches in the bottom. So I don't see it being much of a problem, the process.
Yep.
But
what that concentration is dried.
What's that?
It's so easy to pull it out.
Oh, go ahead, John.
It's so easy to pull it out with a rake. Like we used to do pond mate. I used to work for a company called Pond Doctor, and we would get in these housing complex, and we would just pull that stuff in by hand. You just walk out and just pull it ashore.
There was a pond. It didn't have hyacinth, but it had all the aquatic veg. At my grandfather's apartment complex when I was a kid, I used to fish. And the maintenance guy there made this thing. It was like a big piece of PVC pipe with like rebar coming out of it, like a giant rake, and it had a rope, and he would just throw it and drag it in. And that's how far the mat got cleaned, as far as he could throw it. That was so he would and then he would like this open spot and then a mat again until it was too deep. And it was actually awesome for fishing because that edge, right where that edge was that he left, all those fish would be hanging right under there.
We would throw that stuff out. There'd be massive bullfrogs, and you'd even have fish in that water hyacinth when you'd pull it out.
I bet you get a lot, like when you feed the water hyacinth to your ducks, so they end up going straight into the roots for the snails. Because that's what mine do.
I don't know if they did or not. I would just put it in a pile.
They eat it eventually. The first thing they do is because all those ram's horn snails get up in that root, and so like you're just feeding them protein and calcium when you throw that out for them. And they as soon as they see it, they're like, they didn't know at first, but after a while they adapt, and now they know like that's dinner bell when they see that shit.
It just takes one of them knowing, and then every one of them knows.
One knows, then 2 knows, then 4 know, then 8.
Yeah, they see them do it.
Yeah.
We came home to 28 dozen eggs.
So you're ready for your workshop?
Yeah, we had a bunch put away already. We're about to put some more, but one of our customers, Dan. Dan. Dan, he all of a sudden he wants like all of them, but he never wants them washed, but he wants these washed. So Dorothy's now washing them all. So I assume he figured out some kind of a flip deal, and good for him.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, thoughts on organ meat infused by dry seasoning like pluck. Any recommendations?
What?
Organ meat infused dry seasonings. I guess that's a way to trick yourself into organ meats. I just take the freeze-dried stuff in pill format, personally.
Yeah. I grind liver and mix it into ground meat, and about 1 ounce to the pound. I don't like it, and I'm not going to try to trick myself. I've tried, and I'm done, and that's what I can do.
Yep.
It's not good. I'm sorry. It just doesn't taste good. I
like the pills a lot.
Yeah,
I like them so much, I'm thinking of starting to make my own because I have a lot of liver.
Well, you do have a dehydrator.
I do.
And they have the stuff where you can encapsulate and all that shit.
It's easy.
I've tried like liver done as good as you can do it, and I don't like it. And then kidneys worse, and everything else goes downhill from there. Yeah, I wish I liked it. I just don't. It's not good.
No. That's why it's not on the menu at restaurants.
Now, quail livers, fresh, rolled in flour, and fried are pretty decent. But rabbit liver from a like a cottontail. I've never tried it from a domestic rabbit, but we've various times camping and stuff popped some rabbits, or like one time a buddy of ours who does falconry, his falcon caught a couple of rabbits, and we just threw the rabbit wrapped in foil, like set at the side of the fire. We threw the heart and liver back inside it and cooked it inside there, and it was sweet. It was good, but like beef liver and all. Ugh.
Well, the other thing I've heard, and I haven't had the chance to try this, is that if you freeze the liver first and then cook it, it doesn't taste as good as if freshly killed animal liver that's cooked.
Yeah, I tried that.
And I just never have access to the straight up beef liver. So I don't know. I'm willing to try it, but I just don't like liver. So.
I mean, every time I make deer sausage, that deer liver goes in that batch of sausage. Like that's, and then it's fine. It has to be cut with something. It's it.
Not just
is that a technical term? I'm a foodie and all, but I don't think that is but it's what it is. It just the best I've ever had wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm not a pate fan either, so because it's liver.
Yeah.
Or foie gras.
Yeah, I like foie gras.
Yeah.
I do too.
You can have all my foie gras, John, all of it.
It has to be with something else, so I'm not eating it with a spoon like ice cream out of a dish or something. It's got to be part of like an amuse-bouche or something, you know.
And marrow, I like marrow.
Yeah, marrow is awesome.
Marrow. John's changed the name. It's marrow.
Marrow. AJ says just drink yummy bone broth.
Yeah.
I think he's insinuating there may be liver in his top secret recipe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good though.
It is good. I love it.
It is good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're up on 2 hours, guys. You want to go once around the horn?
Sure.
Okay.
John Willis, Special Operations Equipment. I do a live every night on this YouTube channel. You can find me at SOE Tactical everywhere, or Special Operations Equipment everywhere. And if you like the snake stuff, I've got a SOE Reptiles channel on Instagram and Facebook or YouTube.
Nicole Sauce from the Living Free in Tennessee podcast. And we've got a big event coming in about 4 weeks close to John at Birdsong Marina, the Self-Reliance Festival. If you're feeling burnt out as a homesteader, this is the place to go. Leave your homestead, come out and get around people who think like you do and maybe learn a few things. Check it out, selfreliancefestival.com.
I'm Jack Spirko, and after about a 2-week hiatus on a vacation that was well deserved, I hope anyway, we are back. We have been running 17 years with the Survival Podcast now. We're up to episode 3700 and something today, and I'll have a pretty cool interview tomorrow you guys might want to check out about the resurgence of nuclear power with John Pugliano and Dylan Allen. John coming from a financial perspective, and Dylan actually working in the nuclear power space. So I think that'll be cool, and come check us out.
See you guys next month.
Thanks, guys.